while I'm walking in the Central Park. It's a beautiful weather in October, for October in New York City. I've decided to tell you a little bit more about struggles that I had when I started learning German myself, and some of the struggles my students are going through and how I help them to overcome them. Just look at this view before we start. I'm genuinely excited to share with you all these tips and insights because this is 100% my very personal input, my imaginations. A lot of students are very grateful to me because of this small things that help them to simplify the process of learning such an interesting and complicated language as German language. I would like to start with verb conjugations because it's the most complicated topic for students at the very beginner's level. So my advice here is to always divide conjugation of a certain verb in two columns in your head. On the left, whenever I close my eyes, I always see the singular forms, and on the right, the plural forms. I would not recommend you learning conjugation separately, starting with ich and then as or du. No, German language loves logic and loves structured approach, so that's why we focus on that. So here it's important to always find these patterns. So if you look at the plural forms, you will always see the symmetry of wir and sie. These forms will always have the same ending, the same conjugation. Kind of draw the line like this. Moving forward, when you get to learn modal verbs, you will see that actually in singular forms you can also see this amazing symmetry when the forms ich and as are always going to be the same in the personal ending conjugations. Numbers. When I first tell my students that 24 in German would be 4 and 20, of course they look at me with these giant eyes, but pretty easy to get accustomed to first saying the singles and then the tenths. But what I find more important is to get used to two most important suffixes, as you can see on this picture here. Of course, the suffixes tein and sich. We have to not only be able to pronounce them correctly, differentiate them correctly, but also when we hear, we have to define whether it's 17 or 70. It's super important, just pay attention to that and it will simplify the process of learning German numbers for you. Nice trick for your pronunciation. You have these two combinations of vowels that are very annoying, IE and EI. So basically we just need to ignore the very first letter, basically forget that it exists, and only pronounce the second one the way you would pronounce it in English. Oh my god, I've spent a lot of time trying to teach them and myself memorize them first when I was just starting to learn German. You know, I've just came up with an idea that we can just focus on this trick when we hear them. So just imagine the date. The couple is drinking wine and the woman is playing the piano. So we would then say that he is bringing the wine. That's a funny metaphor maybe, but it was the first one that came to my mind. We would say then sein Wein. Wein in German is the same as in English basically. So yeah, he's wine. And she is playing the piano. Ihr Klavier. I don't know if it's going to be useful for you. For my students it was how to differentiate his or her in German. Word order. When I have a lesson about word order, especially in, we start usually with modal verbs when it comes to more complicated word order. 50% of the lesson my hands look like this. Why? Because I was taught this at university and I still remember it, and I kind of transferred the same knowledge to my students that in German sentences we always have to think about this Klammersatz or frame structure. Basically, it means that you have these two verbs. Hands are a little bit dirty. They have two verbs. The one is definitely the modal verb on the second position, and another one is the main action verb in infinitive form in the very end. And you always have to keep in mind this nice frame structure, and then you put everything else in between. So the frame is the most important for us to learn word order German sentences. Last but not least, and definitely the most annoying part for my students when we start learning accusative and dative, so German cases, they're like, please just shoot me in the head. And I'm like, no, please, it's not that bad. Let's start with the metaphor. And the metaphor I came up here is the postman who delivers the package to the receiver. So here we have to think of the receiver as dative in general and the package as of accusative. In simple words, if someone is getting something, that is going to be dative. And if something is just an object being acted on, basically delivered in this case, it's going to be accusative. You start imagining this picture in your head as soon as you get to learn accusative and dative, it should work better for you without this complicated grammar explanations. So these were a couple of struggles that I had personally when I started learning German and my students did. Now I'm way more experienced with them and can overcome them easily. I really hope that this is also useful for you, my dear friends. If so, please, you know what to do, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and it will give me energy to post and share more. I will see you in the next video, and I'm very excited to... What am I excited to? I don't know, I'm just excited. I'm kidding. Enjoy your day, morning, evening, night, wherever you are. And I wish you all the best on this journey to learn German language. Bye bye.